Hey everybody and welcome back to my channel. Happy Halloween! In today's video I'm going to be telling you about a town in Japan where the residents have a secret. They don't appear to be as they seem. Welcome to Weird World episode 3. Welcome to Nagoro. Nagoro is a charming village located in Japan with a population of around 300 people. But only 10 of them are actually real people. Over 290 of the residents are stuffed life-size dolls that represent the once upon a time live humans that lived there. Local resident Tsukame Ayono began placing scarecrows on the street in 2003. Also, sorry if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. I don't speak Japanese. Reason being, she felt that the town was lonely and wanted to bring back some life. When you first approach Nagoro, you are greeted with two folks who are under a sign, and this sign says, I'm going to put it on the screen because I cannot pronounce this, and I don't want to butcher it, but it basically means doll village. Driving through this village, your eyes will 100% deceive you. There is people holding hands walking, there is fishermen, there's workmen, there's people waiting at bus stops. There is a lot happening. The buildings have lights on, there's music playing, there is a buzz, but the only thing is, there's no movement. Nobody's moving. It actually almost reminds me of a movie, if you've ever seen it, called House of Wax. House of Wax stars Paris Hilton and Chad Michael Murray, and it's basically a ghost town, which is exactly what this is. And this town has two people that are in charge of it all. I'm just saying that. And they turn the residents that were once alive into wax figures. So when you're walking around, you think all these people are real. They're in churches, they're walking, they're in chairs, there's employees in places, and when you get up close they look real, but the closer you get you realise that they're actually made of wax. So that is a movie, and honestly the details about this story are quite similar, creepily similar. The only difference to the movie is that Nagoro has no criminal activity like this, like nobody's been murdered, and what I'm about to tell you aren't real humans. But yes, this village is fake. It's completely fake. The really weird thing is that none of this is a media setup. Like, this town isn't like a large attraction. It's not packed full of people, and you know, nothing's like cordoned off where you can't go in this place and you can't go in this place. It's not some like big setup to make lots of money. So this is all just happening in this town for the people that live there. These dolls have characters. They are stitched up, sewn up to have wrinkles. They're thin, they're heavier, they have personalities, they have makeup, outfits, heights, disabilities like walking sticks for the elderly, tall, short, blonde hair, brown hair, all ages. They even have names. Referring to the creator, Tsukame Ayono, I'm just going to refer to her as Ayono because I don't really want to butcher her name any more than I probably already am. So Ayono, the creator, she was inspired by all of this because of the death of her father. So it all started when Ayono was a little girl, and she remembers growing up, which I can relate to this because I live in a small town. It's kind of like everywhere that you go, you can imagine in your mind where someone is. So I know that if I go downtown, one of my friends is up some ladders stacking a shelf, the other one is behind a till, there's someone that I know washing a window. Like, it was like that. It was every face has somewhere to be. And that's how Ayono grew up. This town is tiny, like as you guys can see on screen right now, it is so small and there really isn't much business opportunity there. This was a very set in its ways type of town. So a lot of the money actually came from farming in the grounds, which was what Ayono actually does right now and what she done growing up. But she, just like many others, wanted a life. She wanted to make a bigger life for herself, and a lot of them actually left, including herself. The only reason why she returned is because her father passed away. When she returned, she realised that everybody that she knew growing up had either passed away or moved away. I personally think, like, this is just my personal opinion, but I personally think that maybe the death of her father, as well as the realisation that nobody she really grew up with was there anymore, I think it maybe triggered something. I don't know, because it does seem extreme that someone has made an entire town out of dolls that are replicas of the people that once lived there. That might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm just throwing that out there. When she had returned to her roots and she had realised that everybody was gone and nobody was really there anymore, she made one doll, and the first doll that she made was a replica of her father. Now, as much as that's like kind of like cute slash creepy. In a way, it actually served a beneficial use because it was used to scare away the crows that were eating all the crops that she was farming. So it, you know, it was made as a scarecrow originally. However, as time went on, Ayono kind of got used to this doll and she started making so many more. Like, the whole town was starting to have all of these little dolls just randomly appearing. Now, this was a small town. As I said, it only had 10 people in it that were actually humans. So I don't think there was really anybody to kind of question what was happening here, because I think most people would be like, okay, that's slightly creepy. What's going on? The next creation that she made was her mother, and then it was more family members, and then it started turning into friends and just kind of everybody else that she knew that she grew up with. So they all started appearing in the places that they once worked. So the people that she grew up knowing that worked in the shop would appear there, and from a distance these do kind of look realistic. Like, I get that people are like, oh, I could tell that they were dolls, but if you had shown up into a town, why would your mind go straight to, oh, everybody here is a doll? Like, it wouldn't. You would, like, first glance think that these people are real. It got to the point that Ayono had actually made everybody that she knew and once knew, and she was actually starting to make dolls for people that hadn't even passed away yet, in preparation for them passing away. The residents actually had dolls that were maybe outside in their garden while they were inside that were exactly just like them. So even though the pictures on the screen are showing you guys what these dolls look like, I totally get that they don't have like a lot of facial features, but like up close you can tell that there was a lot of detail put in. From afar I think it can kind of give the illusion that there's features, like the sewing on the mouth to represent wrinkles for the elderly, as well as things like eyebrows and eye shape and things like that were added into these dolls to give them a more realistic appearance. Among closer inspection, and the closer that you get, you can kind of start to see that these aren't real people. They're actually propped up like puppets. A lot of them are tied to trees, but in a realistic way. It just looks like they're leaning against it or standing. You'll never notice unless you go behind them and see that there's all these ropes and wire keeping them up. It even goes as far as the animals. Even some of the animals are stuffed. So the fishermen that Ayono grew up knowing, they'll be sitting in their bucket at the exact same place that she remembers them being at, and even the fish that they've caught are sewn up and fake. Some of the dolls even have beverages and smartphones, food, even objects me and you have. Among the town, there are a few residents that decided to sow the knot and get married. This entire town is almost like a movie set. It's like nothing in it is real and functioning to the point where there's like humans doing it, but it is all still alive. If this story wasn't creepy enough, the school that Ayono grew up in had approached the point where there was only one pupil attending it, so it was time to close it. She really struggled with this situation. She was not ready to let go of this school, so she made doll pupils. They're all sewing up, they're all sitting there in the classroom, they have water bottles, they have pens, they have homework, there's jotters in front of them, there's textbook work, there is stuff written on the blackboard, there's teachers. They are basically set up as if it would be the real life thing. Throughout the years there's actually been several tourists visiting this town, and there is, I think it's once every year, there is a scarecrow party where everybody just celebrates the work that she's done. She's actually known as like locally famous, I guess, because she's done all this by herself. It takes only 2 days for her to make these life-size dolls, which I don't know about you, but that's like pretty impressive. And I don't know, like to some extent I'm like, wow, that's kind of amazing. And then the other part of me is kind of like, okay, that's kind of creepy. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of Weird World. I think this is a town that nobody really knows about and had never really heard of, and I just couldn't wait to share it. So if you did enjoy this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet already, then subscribe. It would mean so much to me to have you part of my new family here on YouTube, and I will hopefully see you guys in my next video. Have a spooky Halloween and watch out.